الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ربنا يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح اللهم اجعلنا دعاة إليك وإلى رسولك اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا القرآن الحكيم ربنا زدنا علما أما بعد وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون صدق الله العظيم وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الدنيا سجن المؤمن وجنة الكافر أو كما رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. All praise, all gratitude, all thanks is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who through His infinite mercies and bounties has granted us a privilege and opportunity of life to come together in ikram, in love for one another, adhering to the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and following in the footsteps and traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I bear witness that there is no deity to be worshipped except Allah, and I further bear witness that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is his true servant and messenger. Alhamdulillah, my dear respected brothers and sisters, we are in the month of Rabiul Akhir, a time in which we remember the passing of our dear Saint Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, and it is a time for us to reflect on some incidents in his life. One incident that stood out is when he was a young boy. He was about to go to study Islam out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His mother saw 80 gold coins in his armpit, in his jubba, his thawb. She saw 80 gold coins in his armpit, and she told them, whatever the circumstance, always be truthful, always be honest. So on his journey, the caravan that he was on, you know, where they were traveling, they were stopped by bandits. They were stopped by some robbers, and the robbers, they held them up, and you know, they were taking all the valuables from all the others who were in the caravan. And they reached the Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, and they asked him, do you have anything valuable? Do you have any money or anything of value that you can give to us, that we can take from you? And he said, yes, I have 80 gold coins sewn to my armpit that my mother gave to me. So the bandits now, they were shocked. You know, this 80 gold coins is hidden in his armpit, so they had no way of finding it, and you know, even if they searched him, they had no way of finding it. But he told them where the 80 gold coins were. So the bandits, they were, you know, astonished. So they took him to the leader of the bandits, and he asked them the question again, do you have anything valuable that we can take from you? And he said, yes, I have 80 gold coins sewn to my armpit. My mother sewn to my armpit. So the bandit, he was so shocked and astonished by his honesty. He asked him, why did you tell us? Why did you tell us that you have this valuable gold coins? Why has you told us? He said, my mother advised me, whatever the circumstance, always be truthful. Always tell the truth. So, we might think to ourselves, this is foolish. Why would we tell a bandit that we have money, on us? Here, take it. Take the money. But this was the wisdom, and this was the piety of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. He took the advice of his mother. So the bandits now, they accompanied him on the rest of his journey till he reached Baghdad to study Islam, to study Deen. They accompanied him as bodyguards, as guards, straight to his destination. Today, my dear respected brothers and sisters, another example of what happens, and this is, evident in society today. Once there was a king, and he was becoming of age. He had no children, so he had no heir to take over the throne. So he looked towards the kingdom. To see who he could pick, but he couldn't really come up with anybody. So he devised a plan. So he invited the entire kingdom to come. And he told them he wants the youths, the young persons. He wanted the youths. So he gave each of the youths 3 beans. 3 beans. He gave the youths 3 beans to go and plant, and he wanted to see its progress after a week or 2. So he gave them the beans. So all the children, all the youths, they went with their beans. So after a week, they realized, nothing was happening. It wasn't growing. They're watering it every day. They're taking care of it. They're molding the soil and so on. And nothing is happening. So some of the parents, they assisted the youths and realized that these seeds were not growing. They were not growing. So they tried to assist the youths. But the mistake they made was to go and get, real plants that had grown already of the same bean. So this one youth, he tried all how, and nothing was happening. So it wasn't growing. His beans didn't shoot out like everybody else. So they came back to the king. So the first boy, he said, look, my plant has grown such and such height, so tall. The other one, he said, well, look, my plant is higher than his, is taller than his. And then the young boy, he came with his empty pot, with the 3 beans in the soil, and nothing grew. And the king said, this is the one I choose. Why did I choose this one? Because all the beans that I gave to them were fake. And he was honest enough, his parents were honest enough to not, encourage dishonesty. And this, my dear respected brothers and sisters, is happening in society today. It is happening in society today. As parents, we want our children to excel. We want our youths to excel. So we will do anything in our power to get them to excel. Even if, and this is society today, not everybody, even if it means that I have to be dishonest to make my child strive and to make my child, look good. This is the concern. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in the Holy Quran. He warns us in the Holy Quran. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu isbiru wa sabiru wa rabitu wattaqullaha la'allakum tuflihun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, oh, you believe, be patient. Be patient. And compete with each other in patience. And guard your frontiers. Who are your frontiers? The ones that you put for your future. What is your future? When you go to the grave, you want somebody to make dua for you. Guard your frontiers. Guard your frontiers And be patient and guard your frontiers so that you may be successful. You may be chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You may find success. Success is only a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is only up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He grants us success. It's a mercy. So Allah tells us to guard your frontiers, guard those who you put forward, guard the ones that you put forward, meaning your children, guard your children, teach them the proper way, the honest way, the Islamic way, as we are Muslims. Keep them on this path of deen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the youth, one of the 7 persons who will be under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Yawmul Qiyamah, when there is no other shade, is the youth who grew up in Islam and worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The youth who grew up in Islam and worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be under His shade on the day of Yawmul Qiyamah. The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said more or less in hadith, there are 5 things that you should take care of. One of them is your youth before you become old. Take care of your youth before you become old, because when you are youthful, you are strong and healthy to work in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to work for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we become old, it becomes difficult, my dear respected brothers and sisters. Deen becomes a burden for some. So take care of your youth before you become old. And this is what we have to understand, my dear respected brothers and sisters. And this is what we have to teach our youth, to be patient. Be patient. You wouldn't be 12, 13, 14, 15 forever. Only if Allah wills. You will grow. You will grow. You will get wise. You will realize the mistakes you made in the past. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us, فَاصْبِرْ إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ. فَاصْبِرْ إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us, be patient. Be patient. The promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is haqq, is truth. The promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is true. Be patient. And in the whole of the Amma Para from Amma Yatasa'alun to Surah An-Nas is the warnings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The warnings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in Surah Al-Bayyinah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ وَالْمُشْرِكِينَ فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ شَرُّ الْبَرِيَّةِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, those who disbelieve, the fire of Jahannam is your abode, and it will be your abode forever. Khalidina fiha, you will be inside the fire of Jahannam forever. And this is what we have to teach our children, our youths. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also promised in Surah Al-Fajr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'innah, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyah, fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He promises again, O you who believed and stayed firm on this path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is pleased with you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with you. And He wants to please you as well. Enter in, O my ibadi, enter into Jannah. O my worshipper, O my slave, you enter into Jannah. This is another promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what we have to teach our children, our youths. Be patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, be patient. His promises are true. The promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are true. The promises are true. Another reality that we have to face is that we will leave this world one day. We will leave. We will die. and who will remain behind is the frontiers we put forward. So if the frontiers we put forward were disrespectful, if the frontiers we put forward not on the part of deen, not in tune, or not in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or have this consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what do we expect when we reach to the grave? When we reach to the grave, there is nobody to make dua on our behalf. So we have to be careful and hold fast, hold firm to this belief, You know, today, the youths of today, they are, it is so sad that they are so caught up with the social media. They're so caught up with social media. Growing up in the 80s, 90s, social media was nothing. Social media was not a big thing. Today, social media is so big, my dear respected brothers and sisters. These youths take it as haq, as truth. When in truth and in fact, my dear respected brothers and sisters, it is all play and amusement. It is all a fantasy. There are so many, challenges and so many trends on all the social media. So many trends that they get caught up in. Just the other day there was this ice bucket challenge. You have to douse yourself in a whole bucket of ice. For what reason? Allah knows best. There's these dances and so on social media, all these trends and haram that they get caught up in. They look at Burna Boy. Burna Boy will lead you to the burning boy. This is what I have to, this is the reality that we have to face. It is a reality that we have to face. And it is not a taboo topic. It is not a topic that we should shy away from. It is happening to us today. It is happening to us today. And we have to guard our children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ku anfusakum wa ahlikum naro. Save yourselves and a family from a fire, a burning fire whose fuel is made up of men and stone. So we have this responsibility. We have the responsibility of taking care of our children, taking care of our youth, teaching them the proper thing. If we don't take this responsibility seriously now, my dear respected brothers and sisters, we don't want to end up in the fire of Jahannam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, another promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is those who disbelieve. The promise of the fire of Jahannam is there. The fire of Jahannam for those who disbelieve, and they will abide therein forever. So we have to take care of ourselves, take care of our children, take care of our youths, because they are going astray, and they will be led astray. They will be led astray by all these challenges, and it is a sad thing. It hurts to see our children being devoured by who? The whole of Amapara that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns us about. And He ends the Holy Quran for us to seek refuge in Him. To seek refuge in Him from the whispers of the shaitan, whispers of the devil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَالِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ مِنْ شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind, the King of mankind, Malik al-Nas, the Lord of mankind, Ilahin Nas. From who? From the one who whispers. Min sharr al-waswas al-khannas. He has been granted respite. The shaitan, the war against this dunya is the war against shaitan. Greatest jihad. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He addressed the nafs. He addressed the nafs. And He warns the nafs. And we are in control of our nafs. We are in control of our inner self, our inner thoughts. We are in control. If we don't take control, we will allow the shaitan to whisper. We will allow the shaitan to lead us astray. And when we are led astray, there is no guardian to guide us except Allah. So we have to take this seriously. Take this on seriously before it is too late, my dear respected brothers and sisters. So let us try, we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our children, to protect our youth, to protect our families. You know, we always make dua. We always make this dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in Holy Quran, وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He reminds us to make dua. Make dua. Make dua for your spouse. Make dua for your children. Make dua for your children. Make dua for your spouse. Make dua for your children. My dear respected brothers and sisters, because this burning fire, it spares no one. It spares no one. So let us try, my dear respected brothers and sisters, as we are on this path of deen, let us continue to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as He's supposed to be worshipped. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our children, protect our youth, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cause us all to die as Muslims. Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Qur'an al-azim, wa nafa'na wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikril hakim. Innahu ta'ala jawadun karimun malikun barur rahim.